Good afternoon. It is Monday, November 1st. I ended up having to call out sick after less than an hour of work. Thought I had my stomach under control, but it riled up on me, so I've been just taking it easy, I guess. But that also means being bored. I have been for much of today. So I'm like, well, what can I do? Well, maybe I'll be feeling better tomorrow and able to do something. So how about today I go ahead and do movie day since I'm just laying around anyways. So I'm going to watch 007 Octopussy. Now, I think, while there's a lot of, quite a few of Roger Moore's James Bond movies are not taken seriously. They're kind of comedic because that's his acting style or something. I don't know. And so there's quite a few that I don't like a whole lot because of it. I think this is the one that I think of when I think, why do I really not like Roger Moore's James Bond? Why do I think he's the worst of the Bond actors? I think this movie is largely to blame for that, if I'm remembering correctly. But the goal is to watch through all of the James Bond movies as I make my way through this, so I'm gonna still watch it, and I'll talk about it afterwards. And I would give 007 Octopussy a 5.8 out of 10. It was the movie I thought of when I think Roger Moore is the worst James Bond. The least James Bond-like James Bond. It's that one. From a thrilling jet chase to a climactic countdown to nuclear disaster, James Bond is back in an electrifying adventure that pushes the limit for non-stop excitement. Roger Moore portrays the immortal action hero, perfectly capturing Agent 007's deadly expertise, acerbic wit, and overpowering sex appeal as he investigates the murder of a fellow agent who was clutching a priceless Fabergé egg at the time of his death. They have not one but two supposed secret agents, 00 agents from the British service, dressed up as clowns. One of them being Roger Moore in his attempted portrayal of James Bond, but really being more of a clown. They also have a point in there, just a moment that stands out with amongst all of the joking about the, much of the movie takes place in India, and so they're telling lots of jokes about, Indian culture or stereotypes. Sure, a mixture of both. There's a moment there in the jungle where he decides to do his best Tarzan impersonation. While trying to be stealthy, he chooses to, holler out like Tarzan. For the joke, I'm guessing. Overall, back and forth with Russia. Background plot is this, rogue Russian general that's trying to get other nations disarmed so that Russia has the ability to just walk over everyone or whatever. That could have been a cool main plot. But they're really using the gem smuggler, goes by name Octopussy, who is finally a woman that's, at least somewhat closer to Roger Moore's age. So, I mean, there's that. But gem smuggler, and so they're going back and forth with things like that. But really, they're working to set off a nuke in a American base, and They have a decent plot, but they just get too caught up on trying to be funny. That's just how it is. And about half of Roger Moore's run has been like that. You know, the overall plot for the most part is fine, but they're too interested in telling the jokes. So you dress James Bond up as a clown, because that's how suave and debonair he is. As suave and debonair as a clown. And if it sounds like I'm getting hung up on that little detail, it's because I am. Because it bothers me. Because that's not who James Bond is. That's not... From what I know, from the character, from the other films, that's not who he is. Yes, they arrange a series of events in order to make it where, like, oh, well, he's getting a disguise. He can do all sorts of different disguises. I mean, in all technicality, it would have been a better disguise just to change to a shirt that isn't red. Because he decided to leave the red shirt in the clown suit tent, they knew he's dressed like a clown, so it's actually a bad disguise. If he would have just gone into any other trailer and gotten any shirt that isn't red, they were identifying him solely as the guy in the red shirt. So, really, could have just done a better disguise many other ways. But yes, he needed some sort of change of appearance, because they were looking for him from that. They have a new actor portraying M now. Minor role in this, but introducing him to move forward as we have to at this point. Definitely shot in some beautiful spots, so it still gets credit for that. Showed off some Q gadgets. That's cool. I do remember a large percentage of the screen being taken up by the Sony logo at one point, so I feel like like there was some product placement. I mean, it is what it is. You know what it is? It's the last Roger Moore James Bond. We now get to move on to Timothy Dalton, whose films I have not seen in a long time, but from my recollection, he was one of my favorite James Bonds. I hope that stands up rewatching them when I get there, but that's what I remember. Now, I moved movie day a day ahead, and it's not super late, but I am still feeling off, which I'm actually not very pleased with, because a lot of times, you know, I end up with a sick stomach, and usually by midway point in the day, I'm just back to normal. And I mean, my stomach's not as bad as it was this morning by any means, but then again, like, it had gotten calm enough for me to start work, so I hope it's not too bad. I hope I'm not getting... Hope it's nothing that lasts longer than today, really. But we'll see, I suppose. And I'm gonna try and just try rest plenty. Do what I can for my part. Thank you for joining me, and join me as my journey continues.